What's up? What's up? Hope everybody's doing well. This is Josiah Igano and Derek Devine of the All Things Performance Podcast. D, how we doing, man?
Good, good. How are we feeling?
Man, we're doing all right, man. Doing all right this way, man. Week just started, you know what I mean? So, still a lot of work to be done, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's what that's what's up, man. So we're using a different interface, different platform, obviously for this podcast today. So hopefully everything goes down very well. But just wanted to hit on some current events, man. What do you think?
yeah. Let's get in. It's been a minute. Let's get into it. Quite a
Yeah,
bit of
man.
stuff cracked off.
There's a lot of things going on, obviously, in our world. It's a crazy time right now, for those not only overseas in Russia, in the Ukraine, in the neighboring countries, but for
Yeah,
family members and friends worldwide, man.
yeah, most definitely.
I look at, it's crazy, when you start looking at some of the history behind that region of the world and the former USSR and just the communistic state uh, that used to exist, and how a country such as Ukraine has garnered its freedom, it's living life, it's doing its thing. And then all of a sudden, you have somebody in Putin, man, that wants and that thinks otherwise.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, what are some of your initial thoughts, man, about all of this, man?
it, kind of the initial thought is for what, why, and then it's just hard, man. It's been so heavy because all this stuff kind of kicked off here quite recently, and you just start thinking about you have just thousands and thousands of people trying to flee for their lives. I mean, I read a story even today that's just, you have, it was talking about a woman and a child who drove over 4 days to try to get to some type of safety, and the dad's
Yeah,
not there because he's fighting for his country.
yeah,
And it's just tough, man, because I'm over here just kind of living in the bubble. You're not,
hmm
and then you just see pictures of this place that's just already been war torn, bombs dropping, and it's just, it's really heartbreaking, man.
yeah. There's
Really
it,
heartbreaking.
yeah, it's heartbreaking on multiple levels, man. I mean, you have, it's almost like going back. You know what I mean? Like I look at world history, and it's just like, dude, we're in 2022. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, somebody said the other day, they're like, man, this isn't a war. This is a straight up invasion. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, this is a country that's doing just fine, and all
yes,
of a sudden now, you have these forces that are bearing down on them, and yeah, man, the men are fighting, the women are fighting, and they're trying to get, obviously, the lion's share of their family to safety. But man, I think one of the things that I absolutely love, man, is you have these people like Lomachenko, right? Boxers, the Klitschko brothers, the
yeah,
president himself. They're
yeah,
like, we ain't going anywhere, bro. Like, we're literally fighting for our country. Like, we're not going anywhere. I think the United States granted the president of Ukraine asylum, and he goes, nah, man. He's like, I'm staying here. I'm gonna fight for my people. And his wife is like the same. Like my wife or my kids are looking at me, so I got to be tough. I have to, show resolve. And so it's just a beautiful story when you look at the layers, but it's heartbreaking as well, man.
yeah. It really is. But you heard about what the president said when they were trying to get him out of there, and that is the type of leadership we are lacking nowadays.
Yeah,
That type of stuff right there, the true, I will lead from the front, almost just appalled that he would be offered such a thing.
yeah.
I think he even said something along the lines of, I don't need to ride out of here. We need ammo.
We need ammo, right? We need ammo
Yeah.
for,
You
yeah,
know, like give me something that's actually useful.
yeah,
I just, I don't know, a ton about the scenario or the situation or the country in general, but to see the fact that their leader would do something like that, that's a type of guy you'd want to fight next to. That's the type of guy you would want running your country.
yeah.
That you would want leadership. That's I don't know. I mean, I definitely took notice of that. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people across our country should be doing the same.
I mean, you're talking about so many people, man, that have just have left comfort. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Oh,
the Klitschko brothers. These guys are world champions. They don't have need for anything. You know what I mean? And they're like, nah,
yeah,
they're strapped up. Ready to go.
yeah,
Um, but I think one of the things that uh that bothers me, whether you're talking about world leaders, whether you're talking about organizations, whatever the case may be, churches, teams, whatever group of people you're talking about, man, when you look at leadership, man, your platform, you should be using your platform to lift other people up, to
yeah,
elevate, to promote, to launch people into
yes,
success. You know what I'm saying? Not
yeah,
not to intimidate, not to, you know what I'm saying, like not to punk people, demean, disparage, you know what I'm saying, and to impose your own will for what? For your selfish, desire. And that's one of the things that bothers me, and I think
mhm,
another thing that I'll say too is when you start looking at, Russia, a lot of those citizens, man, like they're anti what their leader's doing.
yeah,
They're not with that guy. You know what I'm saying? They're not with
yeah.
Putin, bro. They're not. You know what I'm saying? And it's the selfishness of that regime, that man. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know, man. That right there truly bothers me because now not only are you endangering, uh, creating bloodshed, killing other people from other nations, but you're also putting your own nation under your foot too, man, and in a bad way, and I don't like that.
No, I completely agree. You said something that really stuck out is like, the leader, the mentor, the father figure, that they are supposed to be a launching pad for the mentee, for the follower, for the citizen. You know what I mean? And that is huge, man. That's exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And the tough part is it's like a lot of those people from Russia are going to be grouped in the same thing, depending on how far this really goes. Maybe not to this extent, but I'd imagine a lot of people suffered in Germany from all the stuff that happened in World War II. And it's like, I didn't hate the Jews. I didn't hate all these people. I didn't kill any of those. I had
Yeah,
no support of this. Yet they're going to be. They were seen in this light for a very long time. And part of you bring a good point up, man. It's like a lot of these Russian people are going to be looked at that way, even though they wanted nothing to do with it
yeah,
or they
and
took no part in it. That's the sad part too.
it's and that goes down to leadership.
Oh, all day long.
It goes down to leadership, man. Everything rises, falls, fill in the blank on leadership, and it's just it's not good. And so we're today. I mean, I believe that there's going to be a State of the Union address with Biden. So hopefully we get some clarity. But man, just once again, just prayers up to those who are being affected even more directly because we're all. I mean, this is humanity, bro. Like, so we're
Yeah.
all affected by this. I don't think any loving person can look at the television right now and see what's going on and be good with it. I don't think that any person who has any
Yeah.
bit of light of love in them can see that and be good with it. So, prayers up, man. So it's kind of a hard pivot from what's going on in the world, but these things affect us all. But I mean, we're athletes, and we're dealing with athletes. We're talking to athletes. We're speaking the
Mm-hmm.
language of athletics here. I know that you and I have been talking a lot about the whole Brian Flores thing and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and
Yeah.
we've talked extensively about that. But how about this though? Brian Flores gets hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers in
I
the
was very happy
middle.
to see that.
Yeah, man, in the
Yeah.
middle of a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit for that matter. What do you think, man?
Yeah. I we had kind of talked weeks back about just kind of some of the the primary franchises in the NFL. The Green Bays and the Niners. Just kind of the originals, the Cowboys, all that. And Pittsburgh definitely fits in there. And I just it's on one of those just, man, like you want to tip your hat, man, to Pittsburgh because that was class act because like we had hit on, man, you've had a guy that took a just horrendous franchise, and you can't say anything other than made it successful based off what it had, and did not reap what he sowed into that team in Miami. And I'm very happy that an organization hired him again, because this could have definitely gone the whole, that's a very, very weird dynamic with the NFL, man. It's just it's very easy to get blackballed from that whole get down. And to be honest, that's where I thought this was going to go when he went down this road.
Yeah, I agree. We all know what happened with with Kaepernick, with Colin, and it's just like, when you start moving in that regard, it's really hard to get back into the system, to the fraternity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that, like you said, I do believe it's a class act. And for those that may say, "Oh man, they're just trying to make it right," or nah, like the dude can coach. Like Brian Flores can coach.
We're talking making it right. They haven't made it right.
Yeah.
So I don't.
I'm just saying for the some people who may be ill informed. Like the man can coach. We saw it. Like the Miami Dolphins. Like when was the last time that, you know what I mean? So and then you have, I think the thing that sticks out to me about this whole situation is Brian Flores says, "Hey, listen, this is what has been going on in the hiring processes with me personally."
Yeah.
Right. This is what happened to me personally. And it's crazy because when you start looking at, the different teams, if you have something to hide, you ain't bringing that dude in.
No.
Right. You're not bringing him in
No.
in the middle of a lawsuit against the National Football League. You know what I'm saying? So, so the fact that the Steelers are saying, you know what, come on in, that just shows you, man, that Steeler way, there's something about the Steeler way, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. And it's, I really hope this continues to keep some momentum, and somebody, maybe of some, higher stature or more power or something can come in and back him up, that has some some actual, I don't know, cloud, or I don't know what it would be. I mean, honestly, he hasn't gotten the respect he should through this process. So I'm hoping somebody can come along to try to speed this up, keep the momentum behind it.
You don't want it dying off. You don't want it dying off because it represents so much, and it represents what he's doing, represents so much. You know what I'm saying?
Well, within, that's the tough thing, man, is there's so many different elements, and it definitely happens in the NFL where the best guy doesn't get the job. The best guy doesn't get to play. The best guy doesn't get interviewed. The best guy doesn't get the tryout. It's none of that. The NFL is more than just who you know. It's who you know and how you know them.
Yeah. And what did you do around said person during your time? Because you know how it is, man. It's like one of those things where, hey, man, he's good people. Hey, like we said before, I got a guy, right?
Well,
he's good people. Or stay away from that dude. Like, oh, nah, don't bring that dude in here. You know the code language, man.
Well, that's how it was too. It's like, as a free agent, you would hear about guys getting tryouts, and we'd always, we was joking around a couple episodes back and just like, man, that dude's garbage. But dude, you evaluate your talent, and you'd be hearing guys get workouts, and you're like, dude, how is that guy getting workouts? My phone's not ringing.
Yeah,
and dude, his agent knows somebody.
Yep.
His agent is boys with somebody, and that's just how it goes.
Crazy, man.
And that's the tough thing, man. I mean, we even talked about that in kind of major leagues, man, with one of our future episodes coming out. And I had asked you, we don't want to kind of put too much on it, but we had a major league ball player on the other day, and I asked, hey, is it kind of the same as the NFL? Why did this guy not get run and this guy did? I'm like, well, man, that guy's getting paid.
Yeah.
And and I just had to figure, because that's what it is in the NFL.
Yeah.
You could be better, but it doesn't matter. We paid him $20 million, and sorry, man, we ain't benching that.
Yeah, and I mean, all of that it's all of what you said is kind of like it's not a rabbit trail, but it's a connect the dots, slippery slope,
Yes.
And it's all and it all connects back to these relationships and
Yeah.
how certain people don't get jobs, how other people stay in jobs when they've been mediocre rather. And hey man, at the end of the day, good on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's my squad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I really, like you said, I really hope that it continues to gain traction and that justice prevails. You know what I'm saying? And that more people are able to get opportunities to get interviewed,
They need
especially.
to, they
Go
need to
ahead. Go
start
ahead.
cleaning up, dude.
Yeah.
This can't just be a one-time thing that gets quiet, man. They need to start going around and cleaning things up, and that's what I think. I think that they did such a good job in the NBA when they had that Clippers get down.
Yeah, man.
It was focused on, and they didn't let it get. They didn't let news go somewhere else or stuff get swept on the rugs or stuff was quiet. No, they cleaned that way up.
They dealt with it.
Yeah, they've set that example, and I don't think the NFL has come close to that. And
No.
they need to start taking all that money they're making and start doing some investigation and figure some stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, man, that's a whole nother situation, man. We're gonna bring in our own police to investigate. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna report to us. They're gonna use our clipboards, our pens. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, there you go. So
we're gonna look into this.
Yeah. It's like when your kids bring home like really good snacks, you know what I'm saying, or candy, or they, from whatever, dude, like from school, from a party, trick or treating, whatever, and then you say, as a dad, you say, let me go ahead and look into these taxes that I'm about to take out, and I'll make sure I put it back for you. You know what I'm saying? Just the way you left it, with a couple of items missing, and we'll be good. So no, man. So. Bro, NBA, man. So we just had we just had the dunk contest and the All-Star game.
They watched the Pro Bowl and they said, you know what?
Oh, buddy,
we need to beat the Pro Bowl,
dude. So check this out, man. So somebody came out. I don't know which baseball player, and I'm not gonna even try to guess because I don't want to say the wrong name. But there's a baseball player that came out and said that the only real All-Star game is in the MLB because you can't go easy on 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming at you.
No.
And I was like, ooh. I said, those are fighting words. But I don't see it. I mean, there's truth there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we look at NFL All-Star game and we look at, the Pro Bowl, we call it the Pro Bowl. And you look at, the NBA, and cats don't start playing until the final few minutes, man.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. It's weird, and like you didn't see that type of stuff when Kobe and Michael and them boys were playing. Them dudes, you never saw it. Those guys were the cream of the crop. I mean, the best men to ever play the game, especially from a competitive standpoint.
Yeah.
As well, right? And those guys would have never allowed something like that. I mean, you even look at you know how many times you've heard somebody like, why doesn't LeBron do the dunk contest? It's kind of like, yeah, why doesn't he?
Yeah.
Kobe did. Jordan did. All those guys did. It's like Karl Anthony Towns, that dude's a great basketball player, but what is that dude winning 3-point contest for? I mean, if he is, that's great, but I want to see him go through the best guys to do it.
Yeah, but check this out though, man. We've talked about this extensively on a prior podcast. And the thing about it is you have a situation where it comes down to dollars. Dude,
yeah.
These players are signing multi-million dollar, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of contract. You know what I'm saying? And so if these cats get hurt, if anything happens, guess what? With that contract comes sponsorship dollars, comes TV dollars, comes revenue, sales at the gate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many things to think about when you start talking about a player that is worth hundreds of millions of dollars who can't show up for a game.
Yeah. I mean,
That's that at the end of the day, that's why. That's what's going on. I mean, dude, do you remember back in the day when they had Deion Sanders, Michael Irvin, these cats were in dunk contests. Do you remember that? Like these cats would come and they would go to these NBA All-Star games and they would be a part of the show.
Yeah.
They used to have the world's fastest man. You remember that, junk? When they would have the NFL players and they would literally race each other. You know? And it's just like it's come down to dollars, man. Like the product, they're trying so hard to protect the product that we don't get to enjoy. We don't get to enjoy these athletes, man, and their competitive spirit. We don't get to enjoy it, man, unless it's on their team within a season.
Well, the thing is, too, is it's like, why aren't they just offering them more money? It's not like it's not there.
That's another podcast for another day, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like if we go run the dunk contest, $20 million to the winner.
Yeah.
You got the money. It's
like, John Morant. Like John Morant, that dude has bounced like I ain't never seen, bro. Like this cat, he should have been in the dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
well, you're dead right, man. I just know they need to do something with it because it's terrible.
It's miserable. It's like, hey, don't tune in until the fourth quarter with 3 minutes, all the money on the line. That's when they start playing.
Well, like I can see the injury side that you're bringing up with football. That's harder for me to see with basketball and baseball.
Yeah, well, the All-Star game in baseball, I mean, guys are still, they're still picking it, they're still hitting, they're pitching. It's like, I think that player has a point, Yeah. It's just a different game, but hey, man, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? So back to your, hard pivot as we get ready to close, just, some current events, right? Just trying to cover the world, as we see it. Obviously, it was called the Washington Redskins for a while for its history. Then it was called, and many people spoke up. Indigenous people spoke up. Native Americans, different groups, community groups spoke up regarding that name and how it was not appropriate. And so that name is now part of history. And then it was the Washington it was the Washington football team.
Yes.
Right. The Washington football team. So the creative agency on that, I don't know. I don't know what y'all are doing, but now it's the Washington Commanders. You know what I'm saying? So what do you got on the Washington Commanders?
Well, what I heard, and it could have been wrong, but they tried to come up with a name before last year, couldn't find something. So they just went with the Washington football team and gave it a year. And now what they came up with is absolutely horrible.
I'm like, that sounds like the name of like a G.I. Joe or something. You know what I'm saying? Like the Washington Commanders. You know what I'm saying? Man,
like,
come on, bro. Y'all had time. They had time. Y'all had time.
Well, you got to think about how much money they got to spend on just their marketing and advertisement departments, and that's what you guys got.
Oh, buddy. So what are you going to do?
The Commanders.
Man? Washington Commanders, man. That's what it is, man. That's what it is, Washington Commanders. So, hey, on that note, man, what you got lined up for the rest of the week, dude?
Just trying to get after it. We got a good podcast coming up Thursday. That's going to be, a future podcast, but we got a good recording coming, man. I'm loving the variety we have in guests.
Yeah. Yeah. When you start looking at performance, taking good, making it great, making it better, and looking at all these different domains, all these different professionals who are living life and adding to this conversation, man, it's just like you can learn some from everybody. So these conversations have been awesome. So, man, God bless you guys. Derek, you got anything else, man?
I'm right there with you, man. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for watching and supporting.
Yeah, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon. All right.